So for today's video, we're getting into winter time, holidays and all of that. And I love painting trees. I've said this before, but I really love painting trees. And what's everyone's go-to tree when it's the winter time? It's an evergreen, some sort of Christmas tree situation. So I'm using a size 10 round brush, and I have this light sap green and green gold mixture. It's kind of in a tea or coffee consistency, so pretty light and transparent, washy. And every other section of branches, I'm just kind of painting these mustache shapes that get bigger as we get wider towards the middle, and then we're gonna go skinny again and taper down. But it's really just like a mustache kind of shape that I'm doing with this light green wash. And having these little plop shapes for little sprigs coming out. And then in between those sections, I'll grab a thicker consistency and a darker green. So sap green in a thick, creamy consistency. Maybe some Prussian blue for that rich, wintry green color. A little bit of black. A little bit more. A little bit more sap green, because we want it to be really, really thick so that it kind of looks like the shadow underneath these lighter bits. And we're going right up against, you can leave some gaps of white space because that kind of looks like a little smattering of snow. Going on top of some of the light green to carve out some shadow in between, and just doing these long drags of shape. This is a really fat tree, really stout, chunky one. We all have different preferences with the style of tree we go for. Some like skinny and sprucey. Some like Charlie Brown tree is my go-to type of Christmas tree. I like it, obviously. I like how I like my illustrations with a bit more personality and quirk. So now we've got a nice blend of darks and lights so that there's dimension, kind of going in and breaking some of that up so it's not all in the same direction. And stuff. And that light and dark contrast is what makes it feel fluffy. I'm gonna go back to the green and add a bit more black and blue. I'm gonna sneeze. And then we'll just add this in a couple spots, carving out. Even more shadow. Do, 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 do. And then there's a couple of spots here too that I want to lift some of the color so that it doesn't create a big puddle. Those big puddles create the hard lines. So I'm gonna lift this puddly situation right here and bring out some of the lights in this part again. So I'm cleaning my brush off between each lift. And voila. A little murky over here too, so let's lift some of this. Like so. Very nice. Now we need a little bit of a trunk peeking through. So burnt umber and Mars or carbon black are my go-tos. I'm gonna use the side of the round brush and just plop it in there. Do some peaks of it all the way up. And do some really thin leaves at the top, small bits. And there you go. You could also add in some ornaments if you like. There's a couple different ways you could approach this part. You could do a splatter look. While this is still wet, it would kind of make that glowy evening light vibe on the tree. Or you could do actual crisp circles once this is all dry and then do it on top with a really thick consistency of paint. I'm kind of liking the more flowy, loose look, glowy light. So I'm sprinkling some of this primary yellow. I need more of it. A little more water. And just doing a couple spatterings. You could also do water droplets, because the water will act as like a resistant to the pigment. And so it kind of like erases the pigment wherever you drop this water. So that would be a fun like string of lights look or texture. Maybe it's snowflakes. Just dropping that water on the pigment. And once it starts to dry, you'll start to see it come out more. And it's just to create that kind of like haloed light look on the tree. And then I'll go back in some of the center parts of those water droplet. Whoops, that was a lot. We don't want it to be too watery, so just a really thick yellow. And that water droplet is acting like the glow on the lights. And maybe a sprinkle of red, just for a touch of, hey, there's ornaments on this tree. Look. A fun splattered look. I think is super duper cute. And then we could even go a little bit further and make it even more wonky and fun and add some colored pencil. You know I'm really into that lately. I might add a little bit of a shadow. You could add or draw like one of those tree skirts or presents underneath. Write something in your hand lettered goodness that you've been learning from this channel. Or if everything dries, I could go back with a darker green and scribble some dark green texture on top to make that really come alive with its texture. Let's see. Move this green. That's too bright. That's too bright. But I think I'm gonna leave it as is. It's important to know when to stop. And I think this is a nice, simple but fun Christmas tree that you look at it and everybody knows it's a Christmas tree and it looks like a great Christmas tree. All your friends will be so impressed by this Christmas tree. And you're like, you know what? It really wasn't that hard, but you don't need to tell them. You can just impress them. So anyway, there you have it. Hope that was fun for you and you're enjoying the holidays. Make sure if you're wanting any sort of live art classes or art critiques of your own work to join and check out my Patreon membership where I am doing monthly live art classes where you get to ask questions and get feedback, and then also you can submit your art for the art critiques and I will critique your work, give you pointers and feedback and all of that. As always, thank you for watching these videos and I will see you in the next one.